guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Legends of Cthulhu 12-inch Cthulhu action figure from Warpo Toys. I've been a pretty big fan of everything that Warpo's done so far. Their Legends of Cthulhu line was a lot of fun. If you've not seen these before, make sure you go back and check out my review of their original Spawn of Cthulhu action figure that they released as part of this line. Essentially what Warpo is doing is they are making toys as if they existed in a specific decade of time. This being kind of like the early 80s era, where we were getting a lot of those very Kenner-esque style action figures. And they're creating licenses that they really wanted to see as toys during that time period. And it's a very cool concept. And what they did is they made this amazing line of 4-inch action figures called Legends of Cthulhu, where we got a little Spawn of Cthulhu figure, a professor, a cultist, the Deep One, all kinds of cool characters based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft. And this right here is the new deluxe figure that came out, being the large-scale 12-inch tall Cthulhu. And we're going to check it out. This is one I was really excited about. Way back when the Kickstarter was running and they were trying to get to the stretch goal of this, I was really hoping to see it. So I am so happy that it finally got released. First of all, I gotta say that I absolutely love the box that this comes in. It has a very, very retro feel to it, and it's got amazing artwork on there of Cthulhu holding on to their professor character. Looks amazing. You can see they got a great image of this Cthulhu standing alongside their Spawn of Cthulhu in the lower corner there to show you the scale. And as you rotate the box around to the side and the back, it again continues that very vintage-like feel, where it goes from the fully painted artwork on the front to kind of the drawn black and white and red artwork on the sides and the back. That shows you, like, you know, a kid playing with the figure. We got to look at the rest of the line. It's just a really, really great package all the way around. So the box itself is a great part of this collectible. But we're going to open it up and take a look at the figure within. So once you remove Cthulhu out of the box, there is some very minor assembly required, being his wings. The wings are separate pieces, and you will have to attach them. If you look at his back, you'll see that he's got little peg holes there. And basically the way this works, I'll show you real quick here. It's an interesting peg system where you have to stick it one way. It's kind of got the little tabs on it, and you line up the tabs in the socket, and then you rotate the wing, and it locks it in place. So once the wings are on, they aren't technically articulated. They can move up and down, but that's basically turning the little peg in there that would take the wing off. So it locks them in place just like that. But once they are attached, there's your Cthulhu ready for display. Just look at this thing sitting next to me here. It's a massive action figure, and it has a seriously vintage feel to it. Warpo has done this so well. We've seen a lot of companies out there kind of going back and doing the retro style stuff, and I think Warpo is definitely among the best companies that are able to do it, because the stuff that they've released is very high quality and just really has this great retro vibe to it. Cthulhu here is fantastic. He's not only got a great sculpt, but he feels really solid. He's got a decent weight to him. I mean, he's still kind of hollowed out on the inside so that he's still playable. You can still kind of play around with him, but still has a good weight to him. So he doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. He's nice and solidly made with really good plastics. And just an overall fantastic sculpt. I mean, look at this guy. He kind of has the same feel as that Spawn of Cthulhu figure that was in the standard line, but he's done in a much larger size, and he is standing a little different. You can see he's got the wider stance, of course, so that he can balance out with those large wings there, but he's got really great, like, the tentacle face that Cthulhu is known for. He's got those bright red eyes shining out, and the paint deco on there is really nice, because there's some really nice shading. The light greens on the chest, kind of nice dark greens worked in there with the sculpt. You got these great little kind of warts all over him. He looks really, really cool. And he does have a decent amount of articulation. Again, very vintage feel to it. You can see the head's able to kind of swivel side to side. Since he's got that neck leaning forward, it more kind of like swivels the head instead of turning it full on side to side. The arms move forwards and backwards at the shoulders there, as you can see. And then he also has really nice swivels at the wrist, which I really like, so you can rotate the hands there. And then the legs can move forwards and backwards. And you can see he balances perfectly on his own. He's got a great stance, so he's going to look awesome on your shelf. One of the hands is nice and open with the claw showing on there, which is cool. But the right hand is in a nice grasping pose. So you can actually recreate the scene that's right there on the front of the box with, say, like your professor. Or, of course, Cthulhu can torture any figure you want in your collection that's in that scale, right? But you can see he can grab onto your 4-inch scale figures perfectly. Look at that. It looks awesome. Holding him on there, you can have your cultists kind of worshiping Cthulhu. You can pose him with your Spawn of Cthulhu. In fact, let's go ahead and do that for a little bit of comparison time. That way we can see this large-scale 12-inch Cthulhu standing alongside the 4-inch Spawn of Cthulhu, which really shows the scale. And something else that's really fun about this guy, I keep talking about the very vintage feel that he has. So let's pose him alongside some of those other vintage monster toys. Now, the first one that comes to mind is Tendril from Inhumanoids, who had a very Cthulhu kind of feel to him. It's pretty sweet seeing these guys standing side by side. In fact, putting him next to any of your other Inhumanoids or Gorzak, he looks awesome standing alongside those vintage monster toys. He looks like he fits right in with them. So there you go, my friends. There is a look at the Legends of Cthulhu 12-inch Cthulhu action figure from Warpo Toys. I want to give a special thanks to Warpo for sending this along so we can get a good look at it outside of the box. I really love it. I am very impressed with it. I already liked the line itself, but like I said, this is the one that I was most excited for, especially since I'm a big fan of those older monster figures like Tendril from Inhumanoids. This is a guy that just really fits right in with those. He's right at home with them, and he's going to make for a great display in your collection, whether you're an old toy collector, whether you're an H.P. Lovecraft fan, if you like the Legend of Cthulhu line, or you just want a new big monster, this guy will really fit that bill regardless. He is available for purchase now at online stores like BigBadToyStore.com, or even check places like Entertainment Earth, or even your local comic shops. So happy hunting, my friends. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my other videos. And until next time, my friends.